What I would say, though, is that because this doesn't have any simple and strict rules, you have to kind of practice this to really master it. It's basically a vocabulary exercise rather than a grammar exercise. So within the range of indefinite pronouns, there is what's called a total set, which means examples like everyone, everywhere, all the time. So this is inclusive. An open set, which is like anyone, anywhere, anytime. And what's called an absent set, which is no one, nowhere, never. Now, like I said, it's not important to remember exactly these English definitions, but it is important to remember that there's this kind of includes everything, includes nothing, and this means can include anything. There's this kind of intermittent interstitial one. I mean, almost certainly you have these equivalents in your own languages. The bit that makes it difficult is actually when you use them in Japanese, sometimes you have to apply slightly different rules for understanding which one you need to use. Everybody okay so far? Yeah, okay, cool. So all indefinite pronouns are usually started with an interrogative. An interrogative is like who, dare, what, nan or nani, when, itsu or nanji. And then the total set and the absent set are marked after these interrogatives with mo. And then if you finish the sentence verb state with an affirmative, it makes it the total. And if you finish with a negative, it makes it the absence. For example, let me give you a really, really simple example. No one will go. No one will go. This would be dare mo, dare meaning people who, mo to create the entire set, ikimasen, no one will go. Or basically, everyone is not going. Dare mo ikimasen. Dare mo ikimasu means everybody will go. Okay, so just changing the affirmative or negative state of the verb at the end makes it either the total set or the absent set. Okay. Here we are. Dare mo ikimasen, dare mo ikimasu. Nani mo wakarimasu. I understand everything. Nani mo wakarimasen. I understand nothing. I expect this is quite a useful phrase for this class. Itsumo isogashi desu. I'm always busy. Or itsumo isogashikunai desu. I'm never busy. I can see some of you are writing notes, so I'll give you a moment to finish. What do you do if you want to communicate with somebody online and they don't use Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp or Line or any of these usual apps? What do you do with these people?
Email.
Email? How do you can't chat with somebody on an email? That's like sending them a letter.
And Skype?
What? Next you'll be telling me to have a chat on MySpace. Skype.
just
create a forum on web page and then you discuss it over the forum.
Do I need to read it on my web page?
Like on your blog.
Genius. Okay.
Young people use TikTok these days.
TikTok? I'm not using such whiffle waffle. Somebody's just told me they use Signal. What is it? Has anybody heard of Signal?
That's the new WhatsApp.
Is it?
It's the creator from WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Sold his Facebook and created again a new WhatsApp called Signal. It's actually more in the future than WhatsApp.
There's another one which is Telegram.
Telegram.
No, yeah, I heard a telegram.
I don't have enough space on my phone for all these fucking apps. Jesus. Okay, if we use the open set, then instead of using mo, we would use demo. And usually this would be an affirmative sentence, but sometimes it can be a negative. For
So that's
example,
glass half full thing, is it?
yeah, it sort of makes it open. So it says anybody can, but it doesn't mean everybody will. It's somewhere between the everybody and no one state. So for example, dare demo sanka dekimasu. So sanka means to participate. Anyone can participate. If you said dare demo sanka dekimasen, this means, well, it means no one can participate. But in that case, you could also use dare mo sanka dekimasen. So the negative of the open set is often the same as the negative, as the absent set. Sorry, the negative of the open set is often the same as the absent set. We'll get with it with practice, don't worry guys. In the end, we don't actually use these kind of combinations that much anyway. Nan demo daijoubu desu. Anything is okay. Not everything is okay, but anything is okay. Itsu demo kitte mo ii desu. So you can come at any time. Itsu demo kitte mo ii desu. So what's the difference between itsu demo kitte mo ii desu and itsumo kitte mo ii desu? Anybody?
You can come every time and you can come at any time.
Yeah, itsumo kitte mo ii desu kind of means you can come, you can be here all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas itsu demo just means a kind of selection of times that you can arrive is fine. Yeah. So that's all well and good, pairing up the indefinite pronouns and then either using more or demo, and then an affirmative or negative verbal state. The bit that makes it a little bit more tricky is that in normal conversation, quite often, these combinations are replaced with complete alternatives, such as instead of daremo, minna or minasan. Have we lost Jonathan from this? I can't see him anymore. Are you having your dinner, Jonathan? I can't see you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And nani more, well, this is usually used to say nani more and then a negative to say nothing. If we want to say everything, we usually use zenbu or subete. And I'll explain in a while why we don't usually use everything with nani more. When you finish writing notes, guys, can you give me the antler of satisfaction, please? This is the antler of satisfaction. In case you
Can I ask a question? Isn't there another class of indefinite pronouns for someone, something, somewhere, like
yeah.
narika,
Yes, exactly.
dareka, and all that?
Exactly. So yeah, just by taking the interrogatives and putting ka at the end, it creates that someone, somewhere, sometime. Exactly this. Yeah.
So it's another class that this can be used just like this one's.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that called? Is that also called indefinite pronouns?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm not sure. Who's English here?
To be honest, I don't know. I'm just asking because the construction is similar.
It is exactly. Yeah. Martin, do you know what the class in English is of someone, somewhere, something?
No.
It is something like pronouns. Maybe it's.
No, don't ask me.
No, it is very similar to this though, Joel. Yeah. And then finally, for again, for everything, we can use zenbu, or for nothing, we can use zenzen. Unfortunately, this also pairs up to mean everything as well. We have to just make sure that the verb or the state at the end is affirmative or negative. Łukasz, Kim, I take it you're writing notes, are you? Yeah, okay. Let me know when you finished. Sure. Was that chotamate then, Łukasz? Hi. Okay, thank you. Kim, you still writing? All good?
Oh, I was just trying. Non-demo daijoubu desu. How would you translate it?
Anything is okay. So you probably remember, you might remember that we used an example for this, which was you're at a party and somebody takes you up to the buffet table, and there's meat and there's vegetables and there's seafood and there's things with gluten in it and there's things without gluten in it. And if you said nani mo daijoubu desu, this basically means I can eat everything, which kind of means literally I can take the entire table and eat it all.
You're very hungry.
Very hungry, yeah. Not like a BKA summer seminar sayonara party. But if you say nandemo daijoubu desu, it means I can eat any particular thing. So I can eat anything. It's kind of like I can eat this. If I had to choose, I can choose any of them. Not that I can eat all of them, but I can choose any of them, and I can eat that one thing. It's kind of, I mean, to be honest, to understand this fully, you have to understand what this means in your own language. What's the difference between I can eat anything and I can eat everything? For all of these, like anyone can go and everyone can go. What's the difference between these two sentences?
You lost.
Me too.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah. I think in the end, you have to kind of just basically get used to the Japanese versions of these and then just kind of pick the right one. So to help you with that, does everybody know how to take a screen dump? A screenshot. I recommend screenshotting this.
Aren't there also slides of that which are actually?
This is just from the slide. So if you want to have a look, if you want to sort of have the slide printed on your back of your hand or something, then this will also help. Yeah. Okay, so you can see that there are, in fact, it's got that, whatever that thing is here, Joel. Maybe these are also called indefinite articles, indefinite pronouns. So who, like we just said before, we say dare and then put ka on the end. What, nani, ka, which, dore, ka, where, somewhere, doko ka, sometime, itsuka, for some reason, nazeka. This is an extra thing to what we've just been talking about. But if we want to talk about everyone, you can use daremo or daredemo. Usually we use minna or minasan. Do you guys all know the difference between minna and minasan? Okay, minna.
One N.
Well spotted, Jonathan. I can tell you have good eyes. Minna means everybody including you. Minasan means everybody excluding you.
So that's why Kusama Sensei always says minasan,
Yeah, he's talking about everybody else, not him.
not him.
Yeah. So if you want to just say, hey, everybody, let's practice, then this would be minasan keiko shimashou, not minna keiko shimashou, because this is kind of suggesting to yourself that you should practice, which is what you do if you've got some kind of personality disorder.
I guess this is only going really for the spoken language then, because with the kanji, it never changes, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So you'd only know the difference by whether it has san or sama after it or not. Yeah.
Everyone who practices EI has a personality disorder.
This is the entry requirements, right? And again, you can see over here, everyone is simply daremo, and you make the distinction by having affirmative or negative verb or state at the end. Nanimo, doremo, dokomo, itsumo, nazemo. And then, yeah, exactly the same. Oh, you got it there, Kim. Well done. Excellent. Cool. Okay. Any questions so far, guys, before we try some examples?
Maybe it's too fast already, or this is something for later, but what about like something like dare nimo?
Dare ni mo. Doko ni mo. We do have that a bit in the exercises, but I can't remember if it's part of the explanation. Just a second. Ah, we've got it here actually. It's coming.
Oh,
Let's
there
do
you
this
go.
first. Yeah, exactly. Let's do this first then. So most particles are usually dropped after doko, dare, nani. So mo becomes the particle. So dare ga ikimasu ka? Who is going? Dare mo ikimasu. So the mo replaces the ga in the answer. So this happens generally most of the time. You either replace the particle with mo or demo, except when there's a direction marker, ni or e, when using movement or existence verbs, or when speaking to someone. So for example, there is no one here. Oh, I'm supposed to answer that. There is no one here is koko. Chotomate. Koko ni daremo imasen. Hang on. Okay, no, that's not part of it. So, for example, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to go anywhere would be not doko mo ikitaku nai desu, but doko ni mo ikitaku nai desu. Not doko mo ikitaku nai desu, but doko ni mo ikitaku nai desu. So we keep the ni when we use it as a direction marker. You only need to worry about this when we're thinking about doko and dare. For example, I will not talk to any. I will not talk to anyone. Kim, I can see you making a pained face. So let's. If you can solve this, then we're fine. I will not talk to anyone would be.
Dare demo, dare ni demo.
So this would be dare ni mo.
Dare ni mo.
Yeah.
Then you make ni mo.
And then we
and
need.
that hanashimasen.
Yeah, exactly this. Perfect. Dare ni mo. Martin?
What was the example you used about I don't want to go anywhere?
Doko ni. Let me put this up on the screen actually, otherwise it becomes difficult to kind of make notes, doesn't it? So when we preserve the ni. 1. I don't want to go anywhere. Doko ni mo ikitaku nai desu.
That can I. Thank you. I heard it as ikitai desu first time.
Okay. And then I won't talk to anyone. So this basically has to be retranslated back as I will talk to no one. This is how we have to say it in Japanese. So this is dare ni mo hanashimasen. So I think they're the main ones where the main interrogatives, by interrogative I mean dare and doko, when we need to use ni. Hi, dozo.
I can see the confusion on my head and on your head because it's a language problem for us. I think the confusion was with the anyone. Our language, we translated that to demo. If you would have the sentence, I will talk to anyone, then it would be any demo.
Yes, I will talk to anyone.
So it's because in negative, it's better to use ni mo than ni demo.
Yeah, let me just write this in a second. Hang on, Tom. Dare ni mo hanashimasu. In this case, I don't think dare ni demo hanashimasu. I'm pretty sure that you don't use demo in this example when using this. Jonathan, does that sound strange to say dare ni demo hanashimasu?
I never heard it.
No,
It sounds strange to me.
Yeah.
I would say the ni is it's replacing the de.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Dare ni mo hanashimasu.
So positive or negative, it's better to use the mo.
Yes. Yeah. Is anybody still writing notes? All good? Okay, cool. Let's go back to this one. Here we go. Right, so that's this exception where ni remains preserved. Let's look at some other examples. There is no one here. Let's actually do these as an exercise, shall we? So Joel, there is no one here.
Kokode.
Not there, but remember it's an existence verb coming in. Yeah.
Dare mo imasen.
Good. Koko ni dare mo imasen. Kelly, I have everything.
全部、全部も、to have、全部もいます。I know there is everything. To have.
So you not imas, you're on the right line. Not imas because that's for something that's alive, but
あります。
arimas. Yeah. So you can say zenbu arimasu, or Kim, you've got your hand up. So I'm wondering if you're going to say
何もあります。
nani mo arimasu. Now there's a little pink star on here, which we'll look at in a second, because actually this is an exceptional one, but we'll come to it in a bit. Tom, tomorrow I will do nothing.
Yo.
Tomorrow.
明日
Yep.
明日。nothing, so 何もしません。
Good. Yes.
しない。
Nani mo shimasen. Good. Wukash, anyone can go.
誰でも
Good.
行きます。
Yes, good. Dare demo ikemasu. Kim, I can use it anywhere. It's actually the name of a mobile telephone company. You're drinking sake out of a box, Jonathan. That's highly pretentious, I'll tell you. You're supposed to be drinking it out of a cup in Europe.
I couldn't find the cups. It was my last.
Oh my God. Can you use a bucket?
It's traditional.
Of course it is.
Doko demo
Good.
tsukemasu.
Not skimas, but I am able to use.
What's the verb actually?
Skull. Naska, can you help? As your next.
どこでも使います。
Can you say the verb again?
使えます。どこでも使えます。
Yes, yeah. Dokodemo tsukaemasu. Good. Naska, every direction is busy.
I don't remember direction.
Okay, so this was one of the interrogatives. So for this way, it's kochira. That way is sochira. That way over there, achira. So which way must be?
どちらも
Dochira, exactly. Yes, dochira. So every direction is busy would be.
どちらも忙しいです。
Yeah, okay. So isogashi usually means somebody is doing something. For a road, we use a. Do you remember what we use to say something is busy?
Crowded.
Yeah, crowded,
混んで
exactly. Yep.
混んでいます。
Yeah, perfect. Exactly this. Can you say it one more time?
どちらも混んでいます。
Perfect. Dochira mo kondeimasu. Aga, Thailand is always hot.
タイランドは、いつも
Mhm.
暑いです。
Yes, exactly. Thailand wa itsumo atsui desu. David, nowhere is good.
Location. Dokomo yokunai desu.
Perfect. Dokomo yokunai desu. Jonathan, for all or some reasons, I have to work.
なぜでも、
Mhm.
働かなきゃ。
Yeah, good. Nazedemo. Why do you guys use hataraku as work? It's so much harder than just saying shigoto shinakereba narimasen.
仕事しなきゃ。
And Martin, Karen never plays tennis.
Karan-san, more tennis shimasen.
What can you say one more time?
Karan-san, more tennis shimasen.
That means even Karen doesn't play tennis. But how do you say she never, not at any time, does she play tennis?
Karan-san, zettai tennis shimasen.
Good. Yeah, you can absolutely do it this way. Yeah. How would you use itsu in this though? Just to rub salt into the scabby wound.
Karan-san, itsumo tennis shimasen.
Perfect. Exactly this. Karen-san wa itsumo tennis shimasen.
Could you use zen as well?
Oh, you can? Absolutely.
Karen doesn't play tennis at all.
Yep. You can use zettai, zen,
Okay.
itsumo, itsudemo? Itsudemo? Not quite the same meaning. Yeah, you can use any of these. Actually, Joel, you're next. I would like to go anywhere.
Sorry, I just. Oh God. I'm sorry, but my Zoom just played tricks on me.
Oh, okay.
I
No problem.
can't see the
Let me reshare. Just a second. Maybe if I reshare it, it might work. Hang on a second. How's that?
okay, it's better now. I would like to go anywhere. So, doko demo ikitai desu.
Can you say just one more time?
Doko demo
Yeah.
ikitai desu.
So this actually came up last time as a bit of a problem because technically it should be doko ni demo ikitai desu. And for me, it sounds really weird.
Doesn't sound, yeah, for me as well.
Yeah, but actually, when I looked at this, I think I looked it up, and actually, it is doko ni demo ikitai desu.
Okay.
Yeah, if you said doko ni mo ikitai desu, this kind of you can, I think, use this because it means I want to go everywhere, which means if I've got a choice, anywhere is okay.
Okay.
Kelly, I can't eat anything. Oops.
Sorry. どれでも食べません?
Yeah. If we're using the ability to eat, what would we say? どれでもからない. So what's the potential form of 食べる?
食べられる?
Good. In the negative?
食べない?
That's just, I won't eat.
食べられない?
Yeah, good. 食べられない. Ah, by the way, congratulations on your grading. Yay! おめでとう.
ありがとうございます。
次は3段でしょ?
私?
はい。
初段。
次は初段?
5段。
じゃあ、じゃあもう稽古しなくちゃ。Okay. So after a while after a bit of practice of this, you realize you have to create the right combination in your own language first. So sometimes checking yourself, do you mean anyone or everyone? Is it anything or nothing? So for example, I can't eat anything. If you said nandemo taberaremasen, if you were stood in front of a table and you had some choices, you can have, or you've got a menu and you've got a choice of meat, fish, garbage, then if you only had these choices, then nandemo taberaremasen, I can't eat any of them, would be correct. But if you're ill and there's literally nothing you can eat, then this would be nani mo taberaremasen. I can eat nothing, or I can't eat nothing is what you're actually saying. Nani mo taberaremasen. Or basically everything is inedible. Everything is non-eatable. So it takes a bit of practice to kind of think, am I being asked about choices, or am I talking about the inclusive range of things that I will either eat or do or say? ちょっと難しいです. Okay, so I have everything. If you use nani mo and then arimasu or something like this, if you're using the negative, then you can say nani mo arimasen. If you want to say I have nothing, nani mo arimasen. But if you want to use this in the affirmative, then what you should say is nani mo kamo arimasu. Now, the fact that this is long means most people don't say it, which is why you very rarely hear it. Usually people say zenbu arimasu. I have everything. Zenbu arimasu. All right. Any questions, guys?
ちょっと質問があります。
はい、どうぞ。
I was looking at the previous slide where you can see all the indefinite pronouns, and you have zenzen and zettai. But is there a big, maybe it's kind of a language barrier, but is there a big difference between the two? Because not at all or never for me kind of looks the same.
Zen Zen. So usually Zen Zen is used in the negative. Usually this is Zen Zen something masen or Zen Zen dewa arimasen. Even though you can use it for, it says here you can use it for totally. I very rarely hear this being used in.
Yeah, I think only like Zen Zen Daijobu.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly this. Yeah.
Okay.
Zettai, this more refers to opportunity and times rather than material objects. So are you going to go? Yeah, zettai ikimasen. I absolutely am not going to go. Yeah, you don't really use this as a kind of, when you're talking about if you have something or if you're going to do something with something. Yeah, it normally talks about, well, yeah, the choice of doing something or not. You absolutely will do something or you absolutely won't do something.
Hi.
Yeah.
Zenzen dewa RMSN means absolutely not or something, does it?
So it is, ne? Zenzen so dewa, zenzen. You say zenzen dewa arimasen? Zenzen dewa. So I think if you want to say that's absolutely not the case, then this would be zenzen so dewa arimasen.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Any problems? With Kim drinking wine and Jonathan drinking cider, I've got this kind of feeling of going to get some booze. What time is it? Is it booze time? Yeah, 1 minute, guys. 1 minute, guys, to get some more booze. Go on, get a drink from somewhere.
It's 10:30 in the morning. That's early even for me.
Just water I'm drinking, you know.
Me too.
Him is now Jesus.
Reverse Jesus.
I understand Judas is taking him off to see 9 Inch Nails tomorrow.
That is horrible. You win an entire internet.
Cheers. Martin, it's not too early. I mean, it's evening here, so, and you're retired, so.
The sun is over the yard somewhere in the British Empire argument, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. That's a slippery slope. Drinking at 10:30 in the morning.
I think it's like cocktail time in the Falkland Islands at the moment, which is still British. Right, let us try some exercises. Actually, I think we've done enough of these. Should we move on to the next subject? No, you want to do some exercises? Okay. Okay. I think we'll do these in reverse order though, because we always start from the top and it takes ages to get through these. Let's maybe have one round of each of these. Jo, I tried to learn parkour, but I couldn't do anything. Obviously, very useful sentence.
Yeah. Parkour or to learn not out. I'm trying to remember how to say try.
So if we're talking about a kind of one-time attempt, we use this. I'm going to write the English version of it first. Plain volitional plus to suru
Okay. To narao to shimashita ga
Or shimashita ga.
nani mo
Good.
shimasen.
I couldn't do anything, so I was unable to do anything. Nani mo is correct, but
Nani mo dekimasen.
dekimasen in the past tense.
Dekimasen deshita.
Can you read it again, please?
Paku o narao to shimashita ga nani mo dekimasen deshita.
Perfect. Well done. Callie, I managed to get into the club, but I don't know anyone.
Kurabu ni to get into, can I use hairu?
Yep.
Kurabu ni haita.
Yep.
Kurabu ni haita. Kedo
Good.
daremo ni shirimasen. Shiranai.
Yeah. Shirimasen. Yeah, you don't need ni. Just daremo shirimasen.
Daremo shirimasen. Hai.
Excellent. Tom, I've learned to speak Japanese, but I can't read any kanji.
Okay. Nihongo. Learn to speak Japanese. To speak here is you? No, hanasu. Hanasu.
So let's add some vocabulary, guys. Sorry, give me a second. Conversation is, anybody know the word for this?
Soda.
One more time, Joel.
Soda.
Soda means consultation rather than conversation. Kaiwa. So if you want to say I learned spoken Japanese, then you say Nihongo no kaiwa, and then I learned.
Yes. So to learn was narao. So o.
Yep.
Narimashita.
Good.
Ga.
Yep.
Kanji. Now I have to kanji mo.
Something.
Any kanji. And then I can't read is yomemasen.
Yomemasen. Okay, so this is good. We need
And it was demo.
Kanji mo yomemasen.
Kanji ga yomemasen.
Kanji. So this is okay. This means I cannot read kanji. But what I want me to try and work on is this: I can't read any kanji.
Then we would say something zen.
Very good. This is exactly kanji ga zen yomemasen. This is exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Łukasz, I tried to listen to his
Can I please
explanation.
ask before this?
Sure.
Why is kanji ga not kanji o then?
This is a potential verb here.
Okay, thank you. Hey.
Hey. I tried to listen to his explanation, but I couldn't understand anything. This is like
my word.
Song, right?
What's explanation?
Setsume. Yeah, good. Yeah, was that it? Setsume.
Setsume. So, should I say Kare no setsume?
Yeah, just a second. Kare no setsume.
Listen. Try to listen. Is that something with Kiku? But I don't know.
Yeah, good. So this was the same problem that Joel had. How do you kind of say I had an attempt at doing something? It was at the bottom of this page until I deleted it.
Excellent.
Yeah, and pretty smart, huh? So let me just write it again.
I didn't do this tosuru. I didn't do. So I mean, I never.
It's not my fault.
That's very true.
Plain volitional plus totsuru.
Kiko to shimashita.
Good. Kiko to shimashita.
Ga.
Yep.
So also zen.
Good. Okay.
Zen.
I'll leave a space here because Jonathan's gonna give some examples as well. No, okay.
Examples?
No, I think maybe Jonathan's going to ask, "Can I go and get some more sake?" I don't know. He had his hand up, so I think he's.
I got a second model. Don't worry.
Okay. Zen.
From wakarimasu now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wakari, but I couldn't. Wakari. Not just wakarimasen, right?
It has to be, because actually wakarimasen or wakaru is what's called a, what sort of verb is this, guys? Can you remember?
First group.
Yeah, it is the first group, but it's in a particular category.
Like oeru and
exactly, yeah. So this is in a group. This is important to remember. It's stative, and it's a little bit like the potential. It's a little bit like potential. So wakarimasu already infers potential or the ability to understand or not inside of it already. So if you cannot understand or you did not understand, then this is the same verb.
So wakarimasen.
Yeah.
I couldn't. So wakarimasen deshita.
Perfect. Yeah. Jonathan, dozo.
Yeah, no, my question is, I had the same question before. Instead of using that plain volitional plus tosuru, could you just also use the form miru?
Yeah, but this kind of means to sample rather than to attempt to do something. So I won't go too deep into this because there's actually a whole section on this. But when we have the word or the phrase to try, this has got a multitude of meanings, really, both in English, probably other European languages, and in Japanese as well. One is to sample something. The other one is to attempt to do something. And the other one is to judge something. We won't worry about the third one because that's just simply the verb handan suru, or like shimpan suru, that kind of thing. But to sample something, this is normally when we use temimasu. So, for example, tabete mimasu. It does mean to try, but it doesn't mean that you were trying to eat something that was really difficult and you were trying your best to try and eat something.
You weren't eating a brick.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this would be the case where we just mean to sample something is tabete mimasu. If you wanted to try and eat a brick, this would be buroku o tabeyou to shimashita ga. Tabeyou to shimashita ga ha ga kowaremashita. Ne? But I broke all my teeth. Yeah. Is that okay, guys? Alles gut? Alles klar? I'm taking some.
So I missed everything because I got a call.
Okay, no problem.
So I think the last thing I heard was buroku o.
Tabeyou to shimashita means, sorry, hang on a second. Buroku o tabeyou to shimashita ga ha ga kowaremashita means I tried to eat a brick,
but I broke my teeth.
Yeah, exactly this. Cool. Where were we?
So is this something after this zen or it's not? Or it's
so I was thinking that you could also have used nanimo.
Nanimo.
Yeah.
Nanimo,
yeah. I understood nothing, basically. does sound exactly like me teaching in Poland, doesn't it?
Or us hearing in
Or,
Poland.
yeah. Good. Kim, the dog tried to jump on the counter, but couldn't take anything.
Hmm.
Sorry, can you just give me a second? Turn the light on. Hey, dozo.
To jump, is it jump out, jump in? To jump to leave. Haneru?
Not really for that, no. I think I would
No.
use more like.
Just the first one. Tobu?
One more time.
Tobu.
Obu, yeah. And I think if you jump on something, this is probably what you just said, Martin, I think is probably right. I think you can use this as a compound. And therefore it would be,
Noru.
Martin? Yeah?
No.
How would you compound this? Let's see if it exists first in the dictionary.
To jump up? No. To
Oh,
jump.
there it is. There it is. Yeah, it's there. There we go. You can compound these two verbs. Tobinoru. Can you see?
I was thinking to be agaru.
Agaru means to raise, to lift yourself up. It's tobu is probably better to mean to jump on. Yeah.
So, okay, so the compound verb is to be noru.
Just read that this is usually used for jumping on a moving object, but we'll use it for now.
To be noru.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And inu. So he's the subject. So inu wa.
It's using yoga, actually.
Ga. Why?
Every time you use Kim, I'll say it's ga. And every time you say ga, I'll say no, use wa. It's always the opposite of whatever you're going to say.
Okay.
So you can always get it. You can always try and catch me out by using the one you don't think it is. This is quantum Japanese, man. This is how it works at the quantum level.
Okay. I was already thinking how much I have lost of my knowledge of Japanese. So
it was only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, a little bit more for me. Okay. Inu ga tobi noro to shimashita.
Yeah. There is a location for this.
Excuse me?
There is a location that he's jumping on, by the way.
Yeah. Counter. Square?
This is desk. There's actually a different word for counter. Guess what it is?
Counter.
Good, counter. Counter no ue ni. Tobi noru to shimashita ga.
What's the ue?
On top of. Onto.
Okay. So that's not in the verb. I thought that was now in the verb.
To be honest, you could be right. You probably could just say counter ni tobi noru to. Yeah, you're probably right, actually.
Couldn't take like in toru.
Yes.
Anything. Nani demo.
I think in this case I would say nani more.
Nani. And then the negative.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's
difficult for me because here it is written anything. So I look.
No. Actually, I think you could probably use. I think you probably actually could use either nani more or nandemo, and it wouldn't
Nandemo.
change the meaning of the sentence. Yeah.
Nandemo. Toremashita.
Negative though.
Toremasen deshita.
Yeah, I think nanimo torenakatta and nandemo torenakatta, these both mean the same thing in a sentence. It couldn't take anything and it could take nothing is basically what you're saying.
What about using zettai?
Zettai, zen. I think zen would probably be zettai torena. You can't really use zettai for an object. So you could use zettai ni nanimo, absolutely couldn't. Zettai ni nanimo torenakatta.
Oh,
yeah, but I think zen torenakatta would work, not zettai.
no, I just read the sentence right. I thought it said like, but I couldn't take it anymore.
Ah.
That's going back a couple of weeks, yoni suru.
Yeah, so this was this was the other version of trying, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yoni shita. So this means a kind of ongoing trying to do something rather than an attempt.
Okay.
So for example, sandan no shinzo o toru yo ni shite imasu means I'm trying to pass my third dan. It kind of suggests an ongoing trying to do something.
Your tosuru?
Your tosuru would be correct in this case.
Okay.
But this is what we've got. We've got noro to shimashita, haven't we?
Oh yeah.
Tobi noro to shimashita. Yeah. Okay. That was Kim's name. Aga. I can drink anything, but I prefer red wine.
Nanimo ga nomemasu.
But we don't need ga. More replaces the ga.
Yeah. Ga. Aka wine ga suki desu.
Yeah, aka wine ga daisuki desu, you say?
大好きです.
Both ga suki desu. Yeah, okay, this is good. Do you remember how to say prefer though?
I don't.
Okay, who can remember this?
Oga?
So yeah, this is good. Yeah.
Nihonbashi desu.
Yeah, very good. So nani mo no ga aka wine no hoga mashi desu. Yeah, very good. Cool, good. Jonathan, when the weather becomes better, I would like to go anywhere.
Story of living in the Netherlands. 天気が良くなれば、どこにも行きたいんです。
Yes, good. Yeah,
どこでも I guess would also work, right?
So yeah, as I said before, as I understand it, you can say doko ni mo, or this is actually the more correct way of saying. Yeah, it sounds really weird, but apparently this is correct. Yeah, I did a search last time we went over this, and turned out this was the right way to say it. Okay, Martin, you can come to my house at any time, but bring your own water.
上に、
家に、
いつでも、so let me try that one in Japanese.
Yeah.
いつでも来ていいです。
Yes, good. Excellent. But please bring your own water.
Oh, God.
Would be
水が。
So your own, if you want to say your own, so this means one's own water. This would be jibun no.
Okay, jibun no mizo. Motte kimasu.
Motte ki, and then turn this into a request.
Into a
request.
Oh God. isn't Kimaska? No.
Motte kimasenka? This is like an invitation. Won't you bring your own water?
Yeah.
But we can do this easier by just doing kite kudasai.
Oh, thank you. That's much better. Yeah.
The running joke here, or in fact not running joke, is that Martin doesn't have much water in his going to his house at the moment. So we're all laughing here in England at his foreign foibles. Okay, David, you can sit anywhere.
Doko demo
Good.
suwaremasu.
Yeah, dokodemo suwaremasu. Good. And Nazca, I won't say this to anyone.
誰にもこれを言いません。
Very good, perfect. Okay, good. Okay, well then, guys, that was pretty swift. Any questions on this subject? Kim, go ahead.
I have problems with the sentence when the weather becomes better. I would like to go anywhere. But anywhere is it's like a dokodemo.
Yeah.
If I look in at that print screen.
Except when we use the direction marker ni. Remember, it was at the top of one of the screens like 20 minutes ago.
Okay, so that's an exception.
Yeah, just to prove that I did say this. Hang on. There you go, that one there. Most particles are dropped except for the direction markers ni or e when using movement or existence verbs. So as this had ikimasu in it, ikitai des, we still keep doko ni mo.
But it doesn't become everywhere in that case.
Yeah, so this is the problem. That if you say doko ni mo ikitai des, this basically means I want to go everywhere. But actually, you can kind of use it because it means everywhere is okay. Everywhere. But as I just said to Jonathan during this, to be completely correct, doko ni demo ikitai des is much more like the exact translation.
Doko ni demo. Okay. Then I can follow.
Good.
Because anywhere and everywhere, it has a slight different meaning.
Yeah, I know. It's yeah. Like I said, this is going to take a little bit of time to kind of get a feeling for what sentences sound correct and which ones sound funny. And like there is this thing about nani mo taberaremasu and nandemo taberaremasu. Nani mo taberaremasu and nandemo taberaremasu. One means I can eat everything, and one means I can eat anything. And it's kind of trying to work out which is the right one to use in the sentence.
Okay. I'm never going to use it.
Well, I think it's just a matter of hearing it a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and identifying what sounds natural. Yeah. I mean, if you can master this in your own language, then you can come back and tell me what the difference is between I can eat anything. Me neither. So don't worry about the inner linguistic rules for it, because I'm not in a position to say. I don't think anybody else here knows it either. So we'll just learn it from hearing what other people say and hearing what sounds natural. Yeah. Okay, I'd like to move on to today's subject if everybody is ready to move on. Okay,
so that's today's subject.
So today we're going to learn how to plant a tree and offset the carbon emitted from doing these Japanese lessons. Does everybody have a tree ready to go and plant? Good, okay. Right, so this was just a kind of milestone in the first time we went through this to say we're kind of reaching the end of the main part of Japanese grammar, which is verb conjugation. So at the beginning of this course, I had this tree picture up there, and I said, look, basically, the roots of the language are the sentence structure, which is pretty simple, actually. And then the trunk, and the main branches are basically grammar. And although there's not that many of them, there's one trunk and a few branches, they're incredibly important to get correct. And then everything else, all the leaves, are the vocabulary. And now at this stage of this class, we're kind of here, we've reached the end of verb conjugation, which is the like 90% of the grammar in Japanese. So most of what we're going to do now is moving on to vocabulary. Some of it's kind of grammar, but it's really like what grammar rules apply to this single word, rather than what grammar rules apply to this context when we want to make this kind of sentence. So moving on then, we're going to jump back to requests, what's called the imperative in English grammar, but we'll just think about it as meaning requesting, how to form requests. So a quick revision of what we did before. If you want to say to somebody, please do this, as we know, we put the verb into the te form and say kudasai. Really easy. I see some nodding, so that's good. And then we can increase the politeness of that request by changing the length of the sentence. As simple as that. We make it more polite by making the sentence longer, including using different words. For example, to make it really direct and friendly but impolite, we can just put the verb in the te form, just like that. Itte, go. To make it a little bit softer, then you can put ne after it. Itte ne, tabete ne, kite ne. Kudasai can be replaced with its kind of brother, which is kureru. So kureru is actually kind of an irregular verb. When we shorten kureru to the shortened version, it just changes to kure. We just remove the ru. So you can say tabete kure, please eat this. Shite kure, please do this. You can then make it longer by saying kuremasu ka or kuremasen ka. Still means please do this. Kudasai itself can be expanded into kudasaimasu ka, kudasaimase, and kudasaimasen ka. Even moraimasu can be changed to moraimasu ka, moraimasen ka, moraemasen ka, moraemasu ka, and moraemasen ka. These by going from moraemasen ka to the potential moraemasen ka, this softens it even more, makes it even more polite. At this stage, I think it's probably a good idea for me to go and get another glass of wine and you guys to make some notes, because this is basically a vocabulary lesson. You need to either screen grab this or better still to make some notes. Anybody want to take time to make notes, or are you okay to screen grab it? So you don't mind if I go and get myself a drink?
No, I need 10 seconds.
Okay, I shall leave you for a minute then.
What are you going to do with those other 50 seconds?
Think about what to do with them.
So one of my neighbors had a break-in a couple of days ago. A black bear opened the door, ate the contents of the freezer, had some breakfast cereal with sugar, and then took a shit on the carpet.
What?
A black bear, a big one. Where does a large black bear shit? Anywhere it likes.
Not just in the woods, it seems.
Yeah.
Could
How
be
do you
worse.
bear-proof a house
bear.
then?
Sorry, Tom?
Could be worse. There could be two black bears sitting around.
Didn't get it. Sorry.
Worse. There could be two black bears sitting
Yeah.
around.
That's true. We have 4 that live in our garden.
Minasan daijoubu desu ka?
You should, Martin should open
What's
a
the difference
big
between,
breakfast. The black bear.
what's the difference between moraimas and moremas?
This one here and this one here.
Yeah.
So this is just the direct verb.
Okay.
This is the potential form.
Oh, potential. Thank you.
By putting it in the potential form, it kind of makes it less direct.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry, Tom, what did you say?
It was a story we were told when you were gone. But Martin can maybe open a big breakfast in Canada called the Black Bear.
This is the one, the bear breaking into my neighbor's house, eating the chicken from the freezer, having breakfast cereal with sugar, and then shitting on the carpet.
Just a second, I'm going to say something racist. Let me just stop recording a second. I know that for a fact. I've just finished reading Enemy at the Gates, the Battle of Stalingrad.
Oh, that's a great book.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And this is probably one of the really polite ways of saying things. You normally don't hear this unless it's a shop assistant or a serving staff in a restaurant. To make verb te onegai shimasu or onegai dekimasu, onegai itashimasu. But I would say, basically, you shouldn't use this. Again, with people that you know, even your teacher, it sounds condescending. So you should use any of these others. Don't use this one. Don't say itabete onegai shimasu. It sounds really kind of patronizing. And even this one as well. Don't use the verb in the te form with itadakimasu or itadakimasu, any of these. If you're writing an email or a letter.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Because actually with Kendo, I used to use onegai shimasu a lot against sensei for like asking for keiko.
Yeah, but just the word onegai shimasu, right?
Yeah. Or keiko onegai shimasu.
Yeah. So this is okay, but putting a verb in the te form with onegai shimasu or itadakimasu it's so uber formal.
Okay, because you would be asking them to do something for you rather than just asking for something.
Yeah.
Or to receive something.
Yeah. It's just that it's so formal. It kind of like it's like you're suddenly changing the scenario to being I'm like a waiter and the sensei's like a customer, and it's not quite right for people that you know. It kind of distances yourself so far from the other person. Your sensei might think, why is he being this formal? Is he trying to make a statement or something? Is he trying to make a point? So usually with people that you know, if you're asking to do something, then you don't normally have the verb te form with onegai shimasu or itadakimasu. If you're writing a letter, this is absolutely fine. But if you're using it in conversation, it's kind of a bit weird. Yeah. All right. There are other ways, many other ways to make requests and commands. For example, we put the verb into the mas form, remove the mas and just put nasai in its place. For example, iku becomes ikimasu, becomes ikinasai. Taberu becomes tabemasu, remove the mas becomes tabenasai. Suru, shimasu, shinasai. Kuru, kimasu, kinasai.
And this all means
please do.
Please do.
Please do. depending on the situation, depending on how many beers you've had with the other person, you can drop to these kind of slightly less formal ways of speaking, even with somebody like your teacher. But you have to think about things like tone of voice, what you're actually doing. So, for example, Łukasz, you go out for dinner with Oshita Sensei, and you go to a really nice izakaya, and there's the last piece of simmered aubergine left, and it's delicious, and everybody's agreed this is most delicious. One piece left, and you could say to Oshita Sensei, "Kore o tabete kudasai." But this kind of sounds like you're now asking him to do you a favor. But if you say "tabenasai," which kind of drops the level of politeness a little bit, it means, "Oh, please eat this." You're obviously not doing it as a favor to you. It's like, "Oh, please go ahead, please eat this." Like saying "Tabemasen ka?" Yeah.
So where is it when you would put this nasai in a level of politeness among those above?
I think on a following slide, I might even have a spectrum to show you. In fact,
okay.
I don't think it was in. It's not this lesson actually. Later on, there is a kind of full spectrum to show you where these things occur. It might be in the next couple of slides, but I think it's a few more weeks in the future. I'll find it after this slide, and I'll point you towards it. We can also express, "I would like you to do something." Is that our new member of Andy's Japanese Corner, Kim? Oh, you're muted.
She's already gone. I told her she could hear your reaction, but
already run away.
Very fast.
Just say "No fucking way, I'm out here."
Something like that.
To say "I would like you to do something," of course you can say "please do this," but to say "I want you to do something," we put the verb into the te form and then put hoshi des after it. Hoshi des. I want this doing. Do you guys remember this? We've done it. We've skipped on it before, haven't we? Haven't we? Somebody say yes or no?
Yes.
Right, thank you.
Yes or no?
Yes, good, thank you. So just remember, hoshi is an e adjective, so you can inflect this statement on the adjective. For example, "I want you to clean your room." Aga, how would you say this? "I want you to clean your room."
Heya. Or to clean is sojisu.
Exactly.
Heya o soji shite hoshii desu.
Perfect, exactly this. Heya o soji shite hoshii desu. There we go. And then, Martin, how would you say "I wanted you to clean your room"?
部屋を掃除して欲しかったです。
Perfect. Soji shite hoshikatta desu. Kim, you're looking confused. That immediately draws my attention. It's like an animal poking its head up above the prairie. I don't want you to clean your room.
Better like this?
Where have you gone, you bastard?
What was the question? Sorry.
I don't want you to clean your room.
Yeah. O そして
So shite, soji.
掃除して欲しくないです。
Good, exactly. Heya o soji shite hoshikunai desu. And Naska, I didn't want you to clean your room.
部屋を掃除して欲しくなかったです。
Perfect. Well done. Soji o shite hoshikunakatta desu. Łukasz, proszę.
This is probably a silly question because of my silly English. When you say "I would like to," is something kind of less direct than "I want you to."
Right. So this te hoshi form means that in English I could translate this as "I want you to do this" and "I would like you to do this." It's the same meaning.
It's the same. Okay. But the English, there is a difference, right?
I would like you to do something. I want you to do something. Not really. I'd say
in the sense like how nice you ask it, I guess.
yeah, I want you to do this. I would like you. Yeah, I would like you to do this is a little bit softer, a little bit more pretty.
That's what I mean. It's like,
Yeah, but only by degree. Yeah. It's not like it's a binary difference or anything like this. It means pretty much the same. I mean, usually we just shout at the other person. Yeah.
I also have a quick question, just to double check.
Yeah.
So using tehoshi is to use when you want something from someone else, right? It's not like I want ice cream or I want to eat ice cream. Tabatoshi.
Well, actually,
is it the same or not?
This is exactly the same. So if you want to say I want ice cream, if you're using a noun, then this is ice cream ga hoshii desu. But if you wanted to say I want to eat ice cream, then this would be
tabetai.
Yeah, exactly. Tabetai desu.
Yeah, okay. So you cannot use it for only for yourself, basically. It's always about someone giving it to you.
Exactly, yeah. This is saying that I want you doing that verb. Yeah. And this actually brings us on to I'm not sure if I mentioned this in this slide. The use of tehoshi in this direct way, you can only use for yourself. You can't say, for example, if you have this sentence like, would you like me to clean your room? You can't say, anata no hea o souji shite hoshii desu ka?
Yeah, because then we would ask, could you clean your room for me?
Well, do you remember there was this thing about ikitai, tabetai, shitai? You can use this for yourself to say, I want to do this, but you can't use it for somebody else. You can't say, sensei, issho ni keiko shitai desu ka? You can't use this tai form or the hoshi form for other people because it, what's the word? It assumes you know their feeling, which you don't usually do in the Japanese language. It sounds weird. So ikitai, tabetai, shitai, you only use for yourself. Hoshi is also the same. If you want to say to somebody, do you want an ice cream? You wouldn't usually say ice cream ga hoshii desu ka? You can use this actually, but if you're using the verb te hoshi, let me just grab the screen a second, because this is a little bit more complex than I was previously thinking. Right, hang on a second. This is an added part of the lesson, guys, so don't worry too much. Okay. Tokyo ni ikitai desu. Everybody knows what this means, right? This means specifically, I want to go to Tokyo, not you want to go to Tokyo or Fred wants to go to Tokyo. You can't say Tanaka sensei ga Tokyo ni ikitai desu. Grammatically, it does mean that Tanaka sensei wants to go to Tokyo, but you shouldn't use this Japanese. It sounds presumptuous. It sounds like you're presuming what the other person is feeling. So in Japanese, you don't normally say this. Similarly, ice cream. No, let's not use ice cream. This you actually can use it in this way. Heya o. Let's just put watashi wa beginning. Watashi wa anata ga. These are unspoken, of course. Heya o soji shite hoshii desu. Okay. All right, so far. This is I want you to clean the room. So what I'm trying to stress now is that verb in the tai form and verb te hoshi refers to what you want to do or want others to do. This is the key thing. So this is because let me just underline what this means. You should not presume to know what others want. This is the reason why we don't use it for other people. But there is, weirdly, a way around this. There's a loophole. If you want to say Tanaka sensei wants to go to Tokyo, you use this indirect thing. Jonathan, you might have heard this actually. Tanaka sensei ga Tokyo ni ikita gatte imasu. It's just an indirect way of saying ikitai desu and making it into a kind of passive statement about them. They are wanting to go. And if you want to say Tanaka sensei wants me to clean my room or clean the room, this would be Tanaka sensei wa watashi ga heya o souji shite. And can anybody guess what this is?
Hoshides?
No, this can only be used. Hoshides can only be used for yourself.
Damn it.
Kure? No.
No.
Hoshgatte?
Yeah, good. Hoshikatte imasu.
Oh, of course.
This is correct.
So what does gatte mean?
Nothing. It's just a grammar.
Okay, just what they okay.
Yeah, it just turns it into
Something I need to remember.
Yeah. It's like changes it from he wants you to do to he is wanting you to do something. It just kind of makes it indirect. So you weirdly this is acceptable, even though it still presumes that you know the feelings of other people. Yeah.
Can we just add to omoimasu at the end of the sentences with tai?
No, this doesn't work.
Why?
I don't know.
Still very presumptuous.
Yeah, exactly.
I think.
No opinion in Japan.
Yeah.
How would you say Tanaka-san told me he wants to go to Tokyo?
Well, I guess if you use quotations, you could use ikitai.
Tokyo ni ikitai to iimashita. Tanaka sensei ga Tokyo ni ikitagatteiru to iimashita. I think this one is okay. You can't get away from it. You have to use hoshikatteiru, ikitagatteiru.
Even if you would directly quote.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. The problems come when it's not when you actually make statements like this. It's when you want to ask the person directly, do you want to go? Or do you want me to carry your luggage? Now, of course, the right way to do this is just to say, if you're doing it for a teacher, for example, sensei no onimotsu o hakobimashou ka, or hakonde agemashou ka? Hakonde agemashou ka. This is kind of like the normal way you'd say this. If you really want to be specifically saying, do you want me to do this? Then you have to ask, sensei, onimotsu o hakonde hoshikatte imasu ka? If they kind of make it into this stupid sounding thing like this. Now, usually you just do this. But there will be some specific situations. I came across one or two in the last few months when I was talking to my teacher that I had to use tagatteru to talk about somebody else's wanting to do something. I wasn't speaking to my teacher about what he wanted to do. I was talking about somebody else wanting to do something. And I can't use ikitai or hoshi because that means me. So I had to say this person, for example, let's do an example like the Italian team still wants to go to the EIC. I'd have to say your Oshuiaido Italia no team ga Oshuiaido Taikai ga ni mada ikitagatte imasu. They still want to go. Ikitagatte imasu. Yeah, exactly this. I can't say mada ikitai desu because that means I want to go, not they want to go. Yeah. All good? Cool. That was an interesting little diversion. Where were we? Here. Remember, tehoshi isn't a proper request. It is a statement. Right. Well, that's what it is. This is right. Okay. So tehoshi is exactly the same as te moraitai desu. I want to receive. I want to receive. I want you to do something. So these are two completely equivalent statements. You can use either of these. Czy masz pytania? Shitsumon ga arimasu ka? As-tu deux questions pour moi ce soir? Nakute au revoir.
Can I ask just one thing?
Yes.
I think because I'm maybe I'm doubting. For example, if I want my husband to do the dishes, I use tehoshi desu.
Yes, exactly.
But for example, when I know, because when I see something and I see that person A wants person B to do the dishes, but you're not talking about yourself, you use hoshikatte.
Exactly, hoshikatte imasu. Yeah, exactly this. Exactly this. It's when you want to refer to somebody else wants somebody else to do something. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I get it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? Cool. Let's do some exercises. Yeah. Fun. Just 20. All right. Start with David. I want you to go to work at 8 a.m.
8時に会社に行ってほしいです。
Very good. Very good. Good. Nazca, I want you to meet my manager next month. Manager is Joshi.
上司を、来月、上司を、
So this owl, this usually uses not or, but either of two.
上司に、or to, or と、上司に、会わってほしいです。
Actually, you could say awasetai desu, but you can just use, what's the te form of owl?
会ってほしいです。
Perfect. Exactly this. Good. Jonathan, I want you to pay the bill after we finish drinking. I really need to remember this for any time that we were both in Japan at the same time.
I'll forget the sentence at that point. I want to say the correct word for bill, but I always forget.
Okay. Give me a list of the words you know, and then we'll add the last one.
You
do? Yeah.
And that's what it's. I know that there's other ones.
Check,
I guess.
Kanjo. And Kaike is the one you're thinking of. Or Kaike, the show?
Kamo. I feel like there's a longer one, but
yeah.
No,
it's something which starts with O and finishes with an E, isn't it?
Yeah. I feel like it's 3 kanji long.
Yeah. Oh shit! What's it called? It just means basically the
Receipts.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway.
Shuryo.
Yeah. And then the actual receipt is Shuryo Sho, right?
Yeah, Shuryo Sho. Yeah. Or it actually has 2 ways for anyway. Okay, back to it. Shuryo Sho. 飲み終わったら、終眠書、終了書を、
so not Shuryo Sho, this would mean receipt. This literally means the paper receipt. Just Shuryo.
終了と、払ってほしいです。
払ってほしいです。Good. Excellent. Kim, I want you to read this history book.
History book. History, I don't know.
Is Rekishi.
Rekishi no hon. Okay, first. Kono.
Good. No.
Kono Rekishi no hon. O yonde hoshii desu.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah,
this is good.
Okay.
Aga, I want you to hold this while watching the pigeon.
Pigeon.
Is
Pigeon o.
Apo.
あとを、見ながら、これを持ってほしいです。
Well done. Good. Joel, every day I want you to be at your desk at 9 a.m.
毎日9時 at your desk. Try not to use anata here.
If you just say desk, then this kind of makes it clear.
Square.
Okay, so we're going to be. Let's leave that for a second. Whatever the particle is, we'll come back to that.
Itte hoshii desu.
Good. Itte hoshii desu. So what's this verb itte there, John?
You.
Yeah, exactly. So therefore, what should be the particle here?
Ni.
Hoshii desu. Good. Kelly, I want you to eat all of your carrots.
全部の人参を食べてほしいです。
食べてほしいです。Tom? Sorry, someone. There you are. I want you to talk to Susan, even though she is boring.
彼女はつまらない Yeah. つまらない even though, but we have to use in the beginning of a sentence. We can't use demo in the middle of the sentence.
You can't really, no. So what would you use here? Just a simple but.
Ga.
Yeah.
And then the second part, Susan san o.
So to talk with.
To.
Yeah.
Hanashite.
Yeah.
Hoshii desu.
Good. Yes. Tom, you were here this morning, weren't you?
No.
Were you here on
I think
Sunday? Were you here yesterday on Sunday's class?
on Sunday's class I was here. Yeah.
Do you remember this thing? 彼女はつまらなくても
Yes. I saw the movie of the night day, the next day.
Exactly.
Sumi.
Yes, Zuni, yeah. Susan さんと話してほしいです。
One question.
Yeah, go ahead, Kim.
Would it be slick, or I don't know how to say it, would it be nice to put Susan Sun first?
You absolutely could do this, yeah. Susan さんはつまらなくても
and then 彼女
I mean,
just nothing.
Yeah, you could just do this. It's it's inferred who the target is. I mean, you could, if you wanted to make it a little bit clearer, you could say kanojo to here, couldn't you? But it's pretty clear from the sentence. Yeah.
I used Joseph starts translating from the end to the beginning. But it works.
Okay, Łukasz, I want you to tell me where you went yesterday.
Kino?
Yep.
Now, where you went? Doko ni no, ikimashita?
Okay, this is going to be.
Should I use the? I would say the short version. I mean.
Yeah, exactly this. Exactly this.
Should be ita.
Good.
Ita.
Ita. Yeah.
Ita. Doko ni ita. And then hanasu? No. Or
to tell is.
Oshieru?
This means to teach. You can use this, but it's kind of sounds a little bit strange. You could use it well. This means to say, but there's actually a specific verb.
So nothing I know I can use.
Nothing you know you can use.
Love.
Good, exactly this. Tsutaeru. This is the same kanji as the den in Shinden and Jikiden. Tsutaeru.
Okay, so kino doko ni ita. Tsutaete. Hoshi desu. Deshita. No, hoshi. I want you to tell me. Hoshi desu.
Yeah, exactly this. Yeah.
And then why is this?
Well, there's something's got to go between this bit, which is basically a subclause, and in fact, there's something missing here. So that also needs a little blank, and the rest of the sentence. So basically, this is the thing this thing in the box is what you want them to tell you, right? Yeah. So this can be marked with "o" in any case. Question is what to do here. Well, "itaka" or "ita no" o tsutaete hoshii desu. No is an informal way of saying ka. So ka or no both are fine in this situation. Usually in conversation, you would say kino doko ni itta no o. You'd use no, not ka. But if you use ka, it's not a mistake.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Martin, I want you to say if this hurts. Where are your hands? They're both of them on your shoulders.
Jisho says itamu.
Yeah. Itamu.
But that's the verb.
Yeah. So itamu is the verb, and itami is pain, and itai painful.
Thank you. So itai o ite hoshi desu.
Okay. So again, we need to say not itai, doesn't not just itai o, but itai ka or itai no. O. And then what was the rest of it? Sorry.
ite hoshi desu.
Exactly this. Itte hoshii desu. With this kind of sentence, actually, to make it a little bit easier to kind of converse, because at the moment it's really kind of short and it's not quite clear what this is actually saying. So we can probably make this a little bit more comprehensible rather. This is basically what you're saying in English. I want to say if this hurts or not. So actually, as a bit of exercise for the more experienced, Jonathan, how would you say this?
Itai kadoka?
Yeah, exactly. Itai kadoka.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then you can just then say no o itte hoshii desu.
And the correct answer is harder, Daddy.
I'm still recording, by the way. Okay, David, I want
Can
you
you
to
say itaika dokaka?
you can. This is why it sounds funny, though. This is why you should put no in there instead. Otherwise, it sounds like you're a
Yeah,
chicken.
because I guess the no makes it into a noun.
Yes, yeah,
And
exactly.
then you can use the all.
Right.
Otherwise,
exactly.
it would be weird. Okay.
Yeah, exactly this. It nominalizes it, doesn't it?
Could you make it shorter and just say itai kadoka ite hoshii desu?
I mean, in conversation, I think this is fine.
Okay.
But the
But for
no
written,
is, yeah, the no is just a way of kind of nominalizing that whole
Yeah.
subclause. Yeah.
Okay.
David, I want you to swim to that island.
What now?
Yeah, come on. In the dark.
Is it that island or that island over there?
That island over there.
Okay. Ano shima ni oyoide hoshii desu.
Yes. Hoshii desu. Good.
Hoshii desu.
Yes, good. Natsuka, I want you to pour another cup of tea. Vicar.
I don't remember either a cup or.
Okay, so a really neat way of doing this is to, when you want to say another something of something, it's to do it in this way. Kocha, which is black tea, or mo ippai.
Kocha o mo ippai susoide hoshii desu.
Exactly this. Hoshii desu. Just to be consistent, otherwise I'll get picked up by Kim about my grammar. Oh, susoide hoshii desu ne. Don't want to be criticized for missing out my grammar.
Actually,
John.
I had a question.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Because 3 sentences ago, there was the word, no, next one, sorry, 2 sentences ago. There was, yes, I want you to say if this hurts. So I was thinking of if, of the Tara condition or some other conditioning.
You could actually do this. Let's do this. Let's do it. So, go ahead.
The verb was itamu.
Yeah, but I would use itai as a adjective, as an e adjective.
Ah, kereba.
Yeah, but I think you're going to fall on the problems with the 3 regulations of ke, of ba, sorry.
In the ba condition. So moshi.
Yep.
Moshi, and then itakata desu. Itakata.
It's when you said tara form, didn't you?
Yeah, itakatara.
Good.
Itakatara. Kadoka again?
Moshi itakatara kadoka. Yeah, you could actually. Itakatara kadoka. Well, that now makes it extremely long. Moshi itaikatara ite hoshii desu. This is where it's actually difficult to put it. Moshi. What you Moshi itakatara. Okay, then you could just say ite hoshii desu.
Ite hoshii desu.
Yeah, this means if it does hurt, I want you to say. Yeah, this is fine.
Okay.
Andy?
Yeah.
I actually thought that Toki was the best because then you can use the present continuous
Sure.
or before the pain.
So
Because
go ahead.
now it's after it's painful, you have to say it.
So this means, of course,
Yes, of course, after the pain.
yeah, it can't be before the pain. Yeah. But Tom, how would you say this?
I was thinking about the either the verb or the itamu, for example,
Okay.
and then Toki.
Go ahead.
But itamu, iru. So I need form for the itamu.
Itanderu.
Itande iru.
It's probably too late by then. I think
when it's hurting, yeah, when it's starting to hurt. So just then just the plain itamu, then just the plain form of the affirmative. Then
itamu toki.
itamu toki.
Itte hoshii
Then I
desu.
think the same itte hoshii desu.
Now these are all good. These are fine. It's understood what you're saying by doing these either moshi ittakattara, itamu toki itte hoshii desu. But what it doesn't actually do is to say what you want them to say. Does it? This says, if it hurts, I want you to say. This says, when it hurts, I want you to say. So it's not actually stating what you want them to say. But yeah, yeah, maybe your address or
Nanika?
something. Huh? Sorry, John?
Nanika?
This just means I want you to say something.
Yes.
So the response could be, I like puppies. But this one here, itai kadoka no o ite hoshii desu. This actually says, tell me if it hurts. Yeah. That's the difference. These are perfectly usable. It's just, it's kind of sounds tiny bit vague what you actually want them to say. Yeah. Okay. Is that okay, Kim, Tom? Cool.
Yeah, now I understand why you have the no for the noun.
Yeah, this connects these together to say whether or not I want you to say whether or not it hurts. Yeah. Jonathan, I want you to study harder in the summer before the exams.
Just not today.
Not today. Not today,
Not
sure.
Not today. Shinsa no mai ni study harder. Probably overcomplicating it for myself at the moment.
How would you do it simply?
Just say motto.
Yeah, exactly what I would do as well. Motto.
To benkyou shite hoshii desu.
Yeah. Shite hoshii desu. Good.
Yeah, I get kind of stuck on the harder because now the motto feels like just more.
This is the garbage of English, is that
I guess.
And more in this case meaning exactly the same thing, don't they?
Yeah, I guess.
Motto gambatte benkyou shite hoshii desu. It sounds really weird, doesn't it?
How would you say more efficient?
More efficiently?
Yeah.
Motto yuko ni yuko. This means efficiently. Yuko. But it's kind of, it sounds funny. Right, we'll just, so I can just see Kim and Aga at the end here, so we'll just make one up for these two. Kim, I want you to speak louder on Sundays. This isn't actually true, by the way. You speak perfectly clear on Sundays.
Is it for me to translate? No,
No.
No, okay,
I'll do it for you, shall I? Of course I want you to translate it, you fool.
No.
Shipko. Schneller.
You want me to translate?
Of course, yeah.
Nichiyobi. 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 Is it ni? Because you wanted to do it on Sundays. Nichiyobi ni. Anashi. And then the larger suginai or something.
Good. So larger is correct. So, but how do you say more big? More bigly.
No, I'm not following. More.
So this is saying.
I wanted to add with hanasu the suginai.
Don't need suginai. This means not to do something too much. But let's do the end part first then. So what's the ending going to be?
Hoshides.
Okay. And what's going to be the verb that goes before this?
Hanashite.
Good. Hanashite. Now, the bit which is a little bit more challenging is how to say in a loud voice. Now, you did say, and this was correct. It's a more large voice with a more large voice. And you can translate this almost directly, actually. So what's more?
Motto.
Good. Motto. What's big?
Oki.
Oki. What's voice? This is one you may not know.
Don't know.
Okay. Anybody help?
What?
Good.
Oe.
And then what's by way of?
De.
De. That's the answer.
Ichiyobi ni motto oki koe de hanashite abe. Yeah. Oshii desu. All right.
And then for Aga, I want you to wear a seatbelt when driving a car. Or when driving a car. Hey, dozo.
Kuruma o unten suru toki ni.
Nande toki ni o tsukau no?
Why not?
Because this means it is when you drive a car that I want you to wear a seatbelt. But all I want you to say is, I want you to wear a seatbelt when driving the car. Just toki.
はい。シートベルトを
シートベルト。Yep.
聞いて
do you remember?
探して
That means to search. It means to tighten. Do you remember this? To wear a belt or to wear a tie. What would be the to close around something? Sounds like to close. What's the word close first? What's the verb to close?
Shimaru?
That's the intransitive. So the transitive would be
メロ
shimeru. Shime.
めて
Yep.
ほしいです。
Very good. Exactly. Cool. Good. Well done, guys. Very good. Any questions? Sorry, Aga, you're not the only person who does this. Every time we have a toki use, everybody goes toki ni. It's like, no, don't use toki ni.
Oi.
That's good work done there. Well done, guys. That was 2 massive subjects all done in 2 hours.
Confused.
Confused? Oh, this is happening again on Thursday if you want to watch the video afterwards. Hey, does all?
See if I remembered well. If you want my sentence with I want you to talk to Susan even though she's boring.
Yeah.
So we had not because it's something feeling. If we wanted to say because she was boring, then we could have used denied. What was the difference between naide and nakute?
Ah, okay. If it was sumaranaide, it would mean I want you to talk to Susan because she is boring. But if you use sumaranakute mo, this means even though she is boring, I want you to talk to her.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
And this is still an emotion here, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, that was the because was much harder.
Sorry, one time.
That was the regulation about nakute. That's why it was a nakute, because there was a rule about volition. Was that?
Yeah, I think I'm not entirely sure whether or not you can use this actually, because although it's a emotion, it's actually not that kind of reaction to this. So this might not be the right way to use it. Kanojo wa tsumaranai. Ah, okay. This would be noni. This is the right answer.
Even though in noni I know that. Yeah.
Yeah. Kanojo wa tsumaranai no ni Susan-san to hanashite hoshii desu. Yeah. Okay, guys, don't worry about this other stuff. This is kind of stuff we did last on Sunday.
Quick
Yeah,
question.
David, go ahead.
With going back to nani mo arimasu or nani mo kamo arimasu, is kamo used anywhere else?
Kamo shiremasen.
Is that the only place?
Kamo. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It's kind of a weird, rarely used particle. It crops up every here and there. Yeah. I don't even know for sure what it really translates as. It's probably just a grammatical term more than anything else. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions or problems, guys? はい、ありがとうございました。お疲れ様でした。また木曜日か金曜日か日曜日また会いましょう。気をつけてください。じゃあねー。じゃあねー。お疲れ様でした。